to Utah's performance in its final regular season game against Phoenix. The only difference is Carlos Boozer did not play in that game, although some would argue that he hasn't done much in this game. He doesn't have a point, but he does have 2 rebounds as Anderson enters the game for the first time for Denver.
And I tell you, J.R. Smith amazes me. When I came off the bench and I was a shooter, I like to touch it at least once and give it up, you know, and then just get the feel of the ball. He doesn't even think about that. As soon as he gets it, he's got one thing on his mind. That's trying to get a shot up to get himself going.
Millsap fouled by Anthony. Adrian Dantley, Nuggets acting head coach, fired for sound.
Just keep getting stops. Push the ball, Ty, okay? Keep pushing the ball. Hey, way to control your emotions good. Keep playing good basketball.
You know, Tim, he kind of played it off when we asked him before the game. What was it like when you entered the building tonight? You have to imagine he's here in Salt Lake City, where he was a great player and 2-time scoring champ. Now he's in the Hall of Fame. His numbers retired here. And it's his first game as an acting head coach on the road in the playoffs.
Well, in a lot of respects, it's like coming home for Adrian Dantley. And this is where so many great things took place in his career. It has to have a little bit of a special meaning to him. You know he'd love to come in here as a head coach and get this win on a court that he dominated for so long.
That was last touch by Utah. Dantley spent 7 seasons here playing for Frank Layden. Jerry Sloan was an assistant during that time. 29.6 points per game. That's #1 all time. Utah Jazz franchise history.
It's amazing. And, you know, he's had a huge influence on Carmelo Anthony's game because he was similar in respect that he could dominate the low post at the small forward position. And he has really taught Carmelo how to use his body down there and become a more well-rounded scorer.
Here's Korver off the bench. Well, like J.R. Smith, he didn't give it up on his first touch.
I love it. Get him up there.
Carmelo Anthony not there. Rebound Millsap. Utah having trouble scoring tonight. 7 of 8. 7 misses in their last 9 shots, or 8 out of their last 9, excuse me, from the field on that miss by Williams. They're at 27% right now shooting.
Denver's been very active defensively. They haven't really given a lot of clean looks. They've been coming on the rotation, on penetration, and they're just done a much better job of helping and closing off the gaps than they did in that Game 2 loss.
Williams pushing the pace down the lane, can't finish. Another empty possession for the Jazz. And Martin lost it out of bounds.
Wes Matthews and Millsap kind of fought over that rebound on the Darren Williams miss. One of those guys should have been able to come up with that ball and have a putback, but he had 4 hands on the ball instead of 2, and that's what usually happens. It ends up in Denver's hands.
Think about it. Utah does not have a turnover here in the first quarter, yet they trail by 11. This is the #2 shooting team in the NBA during the regular season. Pacinko down low, finishes for Millsap.
I mean, that's really how he has to have a stamp in this game. Just find open areas around the rim because there's going to be a lot of rotation with all these pick and rolls Utah runs. Defenders are scrambling. Get yourself near the rim. Be ready to catch the basketball and be quick getting it up to the rim.
Anthony over Matthews, and good defense by the rookie out of Marquette. Utah can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Millsap with 5. Has it stripped. Good hustle by Pacinko. Finds the open man. Matthews hit the three. Great close to the opening quarter by the Utah Jazz. A 7-3 run in the final minute to cut the Denver lead to 6. Carmelo Anthony had 6 points. Chauncey Billups had 10. For the most part, a terrific opening quarter for Denver, trying to take Game 3 on the road here in Salt Lake City. Series even at 1 apiece.
Salt Lake City, the Denver Nuggets have a lead over the Utah Jazz. Here with Nuggets coach Adrian Dantley. And coach, how do you like the aggressiveness of Chauncey Billups in this first quarter?
Well, he's being real aggressive, but I'm not too happy with the last 4 or 5 possessions we had.
Why?
Taking jump shots. We want to put some pressure on Utah and take the ball to the rim.
You had Ty Lawson in there. there. How do you hope to take advantage of him?
Well, we want Ty in there, use his quickness, speed. We're going to start him off in the second quarter. Follow got in foul trouble, so that's why I came in with Ty early in the first quarter.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, to Adrian Dantley's point about the jump shooting, early Denver, everything was in the paint, attacking the rim. They go 2:25 at the end of that quarter without scoring. Utah runs off 7 straight. Now a game that Denver was completely in control of. Now Utah's got a nice rhythm and a flow, and they've gotten the momentum back in their favor.
9-3 run by Utah going back to the end of the quarter after that jumper by Korver. That was a 2 by Korver. He set the NBA single-season record for three-point shooting percentage during the regular year. Meanwhile, Miles called for a foul, defending Carmelo Anthony on the perimeter. 2 on Miles. Aflalo back on the floor for Denver. He's got 2 fouls. And Anthony to the bench. 6 points for Carmelo. He was third in the NBA during the regular season at 28 points per game.
Well, now when Carmelo Anthony steps off the floor with this particular lineup, now you've got to pay a lot of attention to J.R. Smith. This is when he tries to take over for a 4 or 5 minute stretch while Carmelo's resting.
Good defense by Ronnie Price on Lawson. Smith had to put it up that time with the shot clock down to 1. Boarded by Millsap. Price, pretty good athlete himself. Left it for Pasenko, could not handle the pass. Millsap to the basket.
What a quick move by Paul Millsap. He just caught that basketball, put his head down, went right at Chris Anderson. It's amazing to go to the rim that hard, but get a shot up off the glass that soft.
How about Lawson again exploding into the lane?
Yeah, Jerry Sloan is not going to be happy with the fact that they're scoring, and Ty Lawson, even on a made basket, is getting back before Utah can set their defense.
Boozer and Williams on the bench to start the second quarter, but Millsap with 6 points and 5 rebounds for Utah. Millsap had a career playoff high 18 points in game 2. Lawson, good D by Korver with a steal. Numbers for Utah. And Millsap almost walked. Korver into the corner. Shot clock inside at 10. And good D by Aflalo. Millsap with a pull and puts it out of the left hand.
But Paul Millsap's energy is taking over this game right now. What a luxury to send an all-star power forward to the bench, and you bring in a guy and you lose virtually no production. A 20-10 guy.
A 13-2 run by Utah, and we're tied at 29. Coming up tomorrow on TNT, a doubleheader with Orlando and Charlotte tipping things off, followed by Phoenix and Portland, game 4 of that series. Then on ABC Sunday, the Celtics go for the sweep of the Heat after Paul Pierce's game winner tonight in Miami. Cleveland and Chicago, the second game of our ABC doubleheader. NBA TV Monday, Atlanta, Milwaukee.
Yeah, Paul Millsap's energy really turned this thing around for Utah. This right here, that's just wanting it more than anybody else. And then right here, the quick move, aggressive at Chris Anderson, goes right into the shot block with a soft shot off the glass. And then this is his favorite area of the court. He loves working the baseline. Once he catches it, he's so explosive.
He's got the last 6 points. 4th year out of Louisiana Tech. Averaged 12 points, 7 rebounds per game this year for Utah. Here's Smith, a 2-point attempt, but Pasenko is playing a ton of minutes here in the first half. It's the rebound. Korver to Pasenko. His second basket, and Utah has the lead for the first time tonight.
Kyle Korver delivers that pass off the curl, really, as well as a lot of guys in this league. He's never given credit for his passing, but he's such a smart player. Made a perfect read that time because he made a hard cut that drew that defender, knowing Pasenko was going to be wide open under the rim.
And they strip. But Lawson gets the loose ball. Here's Aflalo on the drive to a cutting Nene for the jam.
Well, that's got to put a smile on Adrian Dantley's face because that's the first possession Denver's had going